We have Cybernoid 2 from Hewson on side A and Hawkeye from Thalamus on side B. So let's cease the whiffling and start checking them out. In what is fast becoming a running theme with these tapes, Cybernoid 2 is hard, damn hard. This poor aging gamer struggled to get very far in this demo, though I was unaware at the time that I had access to a range of weapons that are accessed by pressing the different number keys. I probably would have got a bit further with the help of some shields or bounce bombs, but not much. These different weapons are limited use, so if you waste all of your shields early in a stage, you will have difficulties later on. Each individual screen of Cybernoid 2 throws a different challenge at the player. Sometimes it's just a wave of hostile alien ships, or one much larger death machine. Other times you have to navigate a series of passages while avoiding deadly grinders or stray bullets, and you have to be both quick and precise in your movements. This is the sort of game I would definitely play with a trainer turned on, at least while I was finding my feet. The music is absolutely amazing though, and reason enough to come back to the game and try again just to hear the titles tune. I knew this tune because I'd heard it used by various cracking groups during their intros over the years, and I never realised it was from this game. Superb stuff. Before I move on to the other demo on this tape, let's see what the folks at Zzap thought. Both Gordon Hewson and newcomer Katie Hamza highlighted the high difficulty as well, with Gordon saying, "Every part of this game makes demands on some of your reactions, whether it's frantically dodging ground crawlers, trying to sneak a gap between bullets, or simply precise blasting." Katie then followed up with this. "Just when you think it's okay to draw a sigh of relief, you realise that the emplacement you've just blasted to smithereens had an even more dangerous weapon lurking inside it, and by the time you've thought about dealing with that, you're dead." So it's a tricky one, that's for sure, but finely crafted. Ultimately, Zzap awarded it a score of 91% and said, if the original hadn't already been released, this would be well on its way to a higher accolade. Which is fair enough, I suppose. This is often the case with sequels that just offer more of the same and don't really shake things up in any radical way. Let's move over to our other demo now, which is Hawkeye by Thalamus. This is another game that can be initially rather confusing if you go in blind, as I did on my first time playing it. It looks nice and handles quite well, but the enemies constantly respawn, and at first glance it is not obvious what your overall objective is. There are two key bits of information you need to know in order to make any progress. The first is that you can switch between 4 different weapons by pressing the function keys, though the more powerful and useful weapons such as the machine gun and rocket launcher have limited ammunition, so be careful how you use them. The weak pistol does have unlimited ammo that is fairly ineffective against many of the tougher enemies you will encounter. The other thing that you need to know is that the hawks at the top of the screen are not just there for decoration. Their eyes will flash in the direction of the collectibles that you need to find in order to finish the level. Hawkeye definitely looks nice with well animated sprites and a whole menagerie of ape-like creatures, dinosaurs and other monstrosities to gun down. It handles pretty well too, though sometimes it can be tricky to work out how to jump up to a certain part of the level. This in itself is part of the puzzle though. A thumping soundtrack plays out during the action, and there are sound effects at the same time, which to be honest can be a tad intrusive, in my opinion, and I would rather have just had the music by itself. The game hasn't quite clicked with me yet, but I would like to spend more time with the full version until I have got used to it properly. This demo has done the job of piquing my interest though, so I would consider it a success. Just before I wrap things up for this episode, let's check in with the Zzap reviewers once more to see what they thought of Hawkeye. This time Gordon Hewson said, "Hawkeye is instantly playable, engrossing the player with impressive graphics and atmospheric sound." Paul Sumner added, "Overall, with so many disappointing shoot-em-ups being released, Hawkeye arrives as a welcome distraction from the standard steer the ship around the scenery games." They awarded the game an extremely high 96% and summarised, "An addictive and beautifully presented shoot-em-up of the highest calibre." Well, I can definitely see that Hawkeye is indeed a quality game, I do have to take Zzap reviews of Thalamus products with a pinch of salt, because the mag and the publisher have the same parent company. I think they tended to rate Thalamus games just a bit too high on occasion. That brings episode 3 to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting, becoming a subscriber and sharing on social media. I'll be back with episode 4 in a fortnight, so I hope you'll come back then. In the meantime, take care.